maybe we'll see something else right now against Mo. We'll see if Doom is going to make that play, or maybe, I don't know, maybe he'll stick to something a little bit more calm. Both players send the good luck. Let's see what decks they are bringing in.
Dominik rocking a pretty nice SK jersey. SK's always had some pretty solid merch. I like the purple. I might have to reach out and see if I can snag one of those. That's got some style to it.
Yep. Furnace
no
from
surprises. Momo. And Doom just saying, hey, I'm going to play it at some point. Let's play it game number 1. Lava Hound for the longtime Lava player out of Dominik.
I like it. Play your best deck. Get a win if you can. Mo's obviously going to be prepared. He's got the God Put, a great air defense. He's got Furnace, Electric Spirit. Oh, and the delivery as well. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, boy. Of all the... And, you know, Dom is sitting there going, hey, I'm going to play... Like, which game do I play it in? And you gamble, you play it in the first game, and you end up against just the counters.
Yeah. He's pretty prepared for Piggies, though. He's got a Dark Prince. Tombstone's pretty solid. Since Momo's last card, or not his last card, but one of his spells is either going to be Fireball or Lightning, right? So not having a log or anything to actually make it to that Tombstone could make that card valuable. And then the other thing that I have to mention is just Doom is just used to this situation. He streams getting to number 1 in the world of Lava all the time, and you inevitably will play against stream snipers. So even though it's like a really tough matchup against the best player in the world, he's been in a situation like this before.
Delivery down. Interesting Void here to clear things out. Smart play from Dom. And he's keeping this one close early on despite having not touched tower yet.
Yeah, and he's continuing to be prepared for these Piggies. So even though it's like really weird because both players just completely counter each other. It's going to be very difficult for both players to break through. A little bit easier for Mo just because Piggies are a little bit more consistent. But don't count Doom out here. He could make a miracle happen.
And, you know, we might have just seen some of the trick to it as Pigs go opposite Lance will be an interesting one for Doom to contend with as he gets the Evo zap out to get him on the floor. Do you think the play over the middle is going to be critical for Doom to try to break through? We just saw, of course, a Dark Prince hop over. It is the hero Dark Prince, so we can always kind of secondary that as the win condition with the Rhino.
Right. Yeah, I think it makes sense, right? Dark Prince over the middle, trying to get to the God Put. Skelly Drags over the middle, trying to prevent roll delivery value. Yeah, I think that could be helpful. But really what it's going to come down to is if this Lava Hound can get some chip damage on tower, especially with Void not being the best way to get tower damage. And Mo's doing a great job of just cycling what seems to be infinite Goblin Huts and infinite Goblins right now.
One pig gets away. Dark Prince going to work on that first one, then turn its attention to the pack. Minute 42 remaining here in sudden death overtime. Evo Inferno Dragon burns down the Furnace.
Yeah, that's just not what Doom wants here. He needs that Evo Inferno Dragon in a lava push to make something happen. And yeah, Mo just continues to apply dual lane pressure. It's really difficult for Doom to deal with all of this with a much heavier deck. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and that left-hand tower is just dead in the water. 7:02 remaining. You see Doom trying to sacrifice some HP to turn it into a real push here, but simply doesn't have it. Zaps the flying pigs onto the ground. Tombstone to pick them up. They will get some significant damage, though, and just doesn't get enough out of the offensive push. Fireball down. We'll just take one more for Mo to win game number 1.
Yeah, GG's. I think Mo's just... I mean, both players seem ready for each other, but Mo's just a little bit more ready. You know, the fireball and the delivery. And then the fear of something is definitely something to think about, but it doesn't really apply if you're just going to always play Lava Hound anyways. And then I guess the final point I would make is like Dominik is able to take these skills that he has for Lava Hound and translate that to other decks. And I guess we're going to see that right now with Doom going with those piggies with that delivery fireball out.
You have to imagine that Muhammad Light and company have had the same thought process you had. Hey, delivery's gone, fireball's gone, great chance for piggies. And there you see Wizard which should help reduce some of the problem. Evo Wizard, though. Interesting choice out of Muhammad Light.
Yeah. Evo Wizard, I mean, it does make some sense. I like Hero Wizard a lot, honestly, but wow. I mean, Wizard on its own getting some really solid value here. This is a kind of an old school type of deck that's really, or not old school, but this is like a deck from last year, CRL, with like Hog or RG, usually with Monk and then the Evo Wizard. And it's mainly used to just control the spammy, valuable meta decks in any given meta. And it seems like that's what Mo's trying to do right now.
Good connection on both sides for the three-time world champion. Left-hand tower for Doom already in pretty significant early trouble. Down to 1539. Right tower chipped up a bit too, down to 2064. And you talk about Doom's history in Clash Royale. Obviously a well-known and talented Lava Hound player. Does have a reasonable competitive history as well. Not just on ranked. Has made a few appearances at monthly finals overall. Ended up making the top 12, getting past the first round in his only World Finals appearance back in 2022. But a lot of top 10 finishes in ranked, in the various versions of ranked.
Wow.
Inside of Clash Royale.
Wizard is just getting so much value in this matchup. It's absurd. And it makes sense. Dominik just doesn't have a big spell. These type of bridge spam giant skelly decks a lot of the time will not have a big spell and have arrows instead. So this Wizard is just locking down defense, and then Mo, super principled. He just continues to, he's just so principled. He continues to apply pressure other lane. It's just so important versus these types of decks. I think a lot of players would just try to hyper-focus one lane. But wow, another Hog-Rider connection, and Doom is in a really tough spot.
Evo Wizard setting up very far behind the Mighty Miner. Pigs into the left-hand lane. Evo Cannon cleans those up fairly easily. Hog Rider looking to break through. Zappy's behind the bowler. That will shut down this Hog Rider. And for the first time, Muhammad Light has a real serious push to contend with. We'll see if Doom can double down behind it. Sets up the bowler. Pretty healthy Mighty Miner goes to the opposite lane.
I wouldn't be surprised if he just lightnings the bowler. Yeah, exactly. Because now I think you still need 2 more lightnings, to be fair, but being able to just take that bowler off the board, which is like one of the biggest threats of this deck, super clean.
Muhammad Light playing defense on the left-hand side. Has to work against these pigs. Playing it nice and conservatively. Giant Skeleton was tanking for the piggies, so it goes down up high, and now Muhammad Light puts it within 1 HP.
When I said I think you need 2 more lightnings to take this tower, I did not realize it was going to be 1 HP left. Mo not having a small spell, need to cycle back to 1 more lightning. This gives potential for Doom to lightning block with either Zappies or Piggies. We'll see if he's going to be able to do that. He attempts to do it. Mo's keeping track of cycle, though. He knows that those cards are in hand, and once they're not, he's free to lightning, and that's going to be a clean win for Mo.
And it would have been quite a move out of Doom. Probably wouldn't have been enough for him to win the game with how far he was behind, but Dominik falling 0-2 to Muhammad Light, as many before have also done. And that will move the 3-time world champion up into our quarterfinal round.
I don't know who I'd pick here. I think that Dominik is maybe a slightly better player, slightly more, what would be the word? I mean, he just has more points. He has more experience. He's a little bit more experienced. Saudi seems like his play style is a little bit more, it's just better in this meta with the E-barbs and the bridge spam type of thing. So we'll see what both these players will run as we hop into this best of 3.
Early mortar connection for Dominik, as he's going back to the dominant deck on the weekend.
Yeah, makes sense,
Saudi
right?
lost earlier to Sub, 2-0'd in that matchup. He ran Bridge Spam, and he ran a Mortar Miner Inferno Dragon deck, so new look for Saudi in the first game of this matchup with Dominik.
Wow. E-Barbs at the bridge, no guards in cycle, I guess. Go for it. Forcing out a Valkyrie and a Spear Empress. Problem is Saudi doesn't have much elixir to actually counter push here. I wonder if Saudi has the play here to pre-arrows. Man, maybe no arrows in the deck. Would have loved to see a pre-arrows there.
And once again, the monster on the board.
Gobstein's just so good after the buff. Like, technically a rework, I guess, because, you know, you don't get multiple abilities anymore, and then maybe a slight reduction in Goblinstein monster HP, if I remember, but maybe it was even an increase. But then the big thing is just the fact that the Scientist actually does more damage. And you can already see, like, yes, some more damage came through, but a lot of this damage to the right side was just from the Scientist chipping away after it got that buff.
This looks very similar. This might be that hog deck that we saw take a loss earlier today. It's like it's the same, 7 of the same pieces.
Oh my goodness, I love this play from Doom. Take some damage on the left side to increase her elixir advantage, and then have a massive counter push with Evo E-Barbs, Gobstein, 2 cannon cards. Evil Lumber's doing a good job, but look at the cannon card minions combo left side.
And Saudi will lose that left-hand tower. Easy defense for Doom, and Saudi just absolutely shut down in game number 1.
Which is just so ridiculous to me, because I feel like Saudi, like, this deck is made to counter this mortar deck, but it has no chance. It just seems like no matter what you do, you can't counter this deck.
Firm that one to qualify for the last chance qualifier. High chance of making the LCQ where he is on points. So I'm going to make sure I go ahead and get that information sorted out. But both these guys need the win here, I believe, to make it into the LCQ.
Like you mentioned, Mortar off the rip from Saudi. Wizard Hero from Dominik to counter perhaps the Bridge Spam deck. It is going to be the Bridge Spam deck. Oh my goodness.
And still connects.
Jeez, forget what I said about needing Evo Batarim to break through. Regular Batarim at the bridge on a counter push and a Vines, and that's already 1,000 damage.
And a couple pigs the opposite direction. And they'll touch Snout. 1919 on the right-hand side. Counter pushing. We do see the Ghost variation instead of E-Barbs, which makes sense since you played E-Barbs in the previous game of this best of 3. Man, the other thing that Doom did pretty well is using that poison instead of Fireball in game 1, because that's just going to allow him to potentially run Roll Hogs or RG, which are 2 decks that Doom is very seasoned with in game 3 if it goes to that. And that was maybe half a tile away from absolute disaster for Saudi. Still terrible for him, with Dominik in great shape on both towers and Saudi playing far from behind.
Man, this is just not the gameplay from Saudi. Like, I don't mean to be rude in any way, but I think he's in a great spot here. Like, Dominik does not have a big spell for Mortar or Cannon Cart or Gobstein or Skelly Drags. The Wizard can be helpful versus Skelly Drags, but versus everything else is not so great. Zappies are a fantastic counter to Mortar, and it just seems like his Mortars on offense... Sorry, the Zappies are a great counter to the Bataram, and the Mortar on offense just needs to be a little bit more protected from the Wizard.
I mean, and Dominik's timing on those Wizards has been impeccable. He has absolutely seen it coming. Saudi, very predictable so far. And the wizard ability, does go down.
Nice play with the vines to bring that wizard ability or wizard back to the floor. Very common idea. Fascinating that Saudi even has vines in the first place.
As we go into sudden death overtime, lead so far firmly in the side of Dominik, who might have finally broken apart this nasty combination that has been so dominant today.
Wizard ability, I stand corrected. Maybe Wizard is a good counter to Gobstein. Vines are really late here. Does help out a little bit. And then Mortar. It seems like Doom is just pretty happy to just defend and take the win here. We'll see if it's possible. I think this is the first time we've really seen this Mortar deck down so much damage here in overtime. Wow, prediction onto the wizard. I don't know if it's enough, but the giant skelly probably is enough on its own, realistically.
And this is just pure control for an archetype that is so about being aggressive. Dominik with a great read that he had done enough early on to really shut things down and has switched to pure control mode. So far, working out perfectly as Saudi has had the unenviable position of trying to win Mortar Minor from behind.
Yeah. Mortar just dies immediately. 40 seconds on the clock. Gobstein here trying to make something happen. But there's just so many mistakes here. But the biggest biggest mistake is the fact that he's just throwing everything down this lane. And it's literally just double hero wizard, tornado, splash damage, wiping everything out. Mortar is a deck that is meant to be played in a dual lane pressure, and Saudi is just not doing that right now.
And a huge win for Dominik. Just devastating pressure the entire time, and he has not guaranteed himself a spot in our LCQ, but he has taken one big step closer.
Because there's not two people that can win a golden ticket that can bump Viper up. It's just not going to happen.
And the last thing you want is to be in that LCQ spot, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just so much pressure. You talk about the pressure of today. You know, even if you don't have the World Finals ticket today, you still in your mind go, I've got one more chance. The LCQ, it's got that name for a reason. As Dominik, good to see his face back on the CRL screen, top of your screen there. And EGW at the bottom.
Okay, looks like we're just heading into a Mortar Mirror matchup.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Super strong deck. EGW with a slightly different variation, as in EGW style, with the Evo Furnace.
I gotta admit, I like seeing, you know, just a little twist on everything in the meta from from EGW. It keeps things fresh.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I wonder, I actually genuinely wonder how he practices, because he's obviously not trying to perfect the little things in every single deck, but rather focusing on more about individual cards and the value that they hold, and then being able to put those together in a high synergy. I don't know. It's kind of it takes a different type of practice and different type of genius.
Yeah, and that's a great point that you make. I was gonna say, the fact that it still synergizes well, and you know, you think about dual mode at CRL. That's actually a really, really valuable skill to have, just because, you know, not to go straight down the line of the meta usually opens up those cards later on in your set. You know, in this deck, this is, as you said, Juicy, just a little bit different than what we're used to seeing, and maybe EGW has a plan in Game 2 or Game 3 to fill that spot.
So looking at the differences here, we have an Evo Furnace, but Dominik does actually have the poison for it. Dominik also has Evo E-Barbs, but we know Rascals and Goblinstein are probably the two best counters to those Evo Barbs in the game. So EGW's pretty prepared here. Dominik is as well. The question is, how do you connect? I think that the most valuable card in this matchup is honestly probably the cannon card. So it's going to come down to who can protect their cannon card, as well as the mortar, the Evo mortar. Who can protect their Evo mortar more effectively?
Yeah, I will say, you know, this Evo E-Barb's Goblinstein mortar deck, super strong in the meta, but the Rascals is a tough matchup to run into. The Rascals plus the cannon cart is something that I've struggled with a lot, which is kind of the old, most popular version of this deck. So we'll see if Dominik has any plans, as he is down by just a little bit. And I think all the things that you say stand true, Juice. And, you know, how is he going to get on tower?
I like the defensive mortar option from Doom. I think that the difference between Fireball and Poison is interesting. Fireball does do more damage to towers, but Poison does more damage to troops. So being able to drop those defensive mortars, kind of make your opponent have to play into you, and then look for poison values is a decent idea from Doom.
And I like the pile up here on the left side from EGW. He sees that poison go out on the right side from Dominik, and now he's got a massive push. That Goblinstein not getting quite far enough. The mortar does connect, and EGW in a great spot here. Ooh. This is not what you want to see in this mirror matchup, or this, you know, at least win condition matchup. And then, yeah, that mortar shot getting on tower and cleaning up the doctor.
Wait, this is Dominik's chance. He says, okay, I can't defend. I will try to attack. Evo mortar plus Evo E-Barbs at the bridge. Mortar on the left from EGW is doing lots of value, but can Doom protect his Evo mortar well enough? Will it get a shot? It does get the shot with the Goblinstein tanking. Goblinstein ability hits as well, and all of a sudden, we're pretty much tied up.
Yeah, that was a great response there from Dominik. Able to take that damage on the left-hand side, stay alive, and then just sell out on the right. Both Evos in cycle. Huge push in, and the Goblinstein getting on top of tower, absolutely massive, able to tank for that one Goblin that came in at the end. 13-15, 12-49, 30 seconds remain.
Goblinstein at the bridge from both players. One defensive, one offensive. This Furnace plus Cannon Cart combo is definitely difficult to deal with. E-Barbs are forced to drop down. Poison cycle from Doom is getting some damage. EGW needs to react with his own Fireball on offense.
Yeah.
There it is. But is it too late? Because now Doom is back to another Poison.
I was just going to say he needs to cycle a couple Fireballs, and that first one comes out way too late. 1077, 985, and Dominik with the turnaround victory there. It felt like he was kind of dead in the water for a moment, but you're not going to be able to deal with what I have coming your way. And now Dominik, perfect with Mortar on the weekend. A clean 4-0 in the games that he's played with his variations of Mortar. The only thing changing really is, you know, the small spell and a couple support cards, but that Evo E-Barbs plus Gobstein Evo Mortar combo has been running it for him, and he's been poison with it every single time.
As we head into this game too, I have a couple some information that I can share with you guys. Huge shout out to Jury, an analyst that's been helping us with a lot of this information recently. But if EGW wins this game, or if Viper is mathematically out of World Finals and locked into having to play the LCQ, Morten still has a chance if someone else wins. And EGW, if he wins this game, is fully locked in for World Finals via points. So EGW has a lot of pressure here, not only to win this game, but also the match to hit a reverse sweep and come back here.
If I'm EGW, I don't want to know that information.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, don't tell me. Don't tell me at all. But this balloon going to get a couple shots in. You can see Dominik shaking his head there. EGW recognizing, all right, Vines is gone. Zappies are gone. What else do you have to defend in the skies? And a Mother Witch is not enough, as we already see 1376 standing on that top left tower here for Dom.
EGW just going to comfort. I like it. I understand it. It makes sense. And it's working out for him. Dominik, a little bit too... I don't know. Just a little bit too flimsy with his air defenses. Knowing that EGW has the potential to play this deck, you can't just play your Wizard, your Vines, and your Zappies in that situation. Still, this being said, the fact that he has all those air defenses still gives Dominik a chance to come back.
I was going to say, I think Dominik really needs to lean on stacking as many zappies as he can on the board. That's going to be, I think, the biggest X factor for him in slowing down that balloon and clogging up the lane. The zappies are going to be very difficult to get to if EGW is running any of the variations he has in the past in terms of not having a big spell.
Giant Skelly in the back. Dominik playing, honestly, really patient here, and I like that. Obviously, you have to get some aggression in at some point, but a lot of the time with these types of decks, for both players, honestly, you have to wait for that moment, and Doom thinks he has it now.
Wizard going to be a great card. Wow. This game moves on as well, and that is a big connection from Dominik on the right-hand side, and the Giant Skeleton, and the Wizard connecting on the left-hand side. EGW just completely falling apart. We lost his cam. I don't know if he's lagging or what's going on here, but EGW feeling the heat.
Oh my goodness, what a dual lane pressure from Doom there. A little bit too aggressive, though, is right now with the Executioner surviving at literally 1 HP. Maybe this is the opportunity EGW has to make something happen. He decides to keep setting up defense, though. I guess.
I was going to say, is he just going to go Loon in the left-hand side? But yeah, Juice, he just goes defensive.
Wait, and this is not going to pull. This is a bad Giant Skelly placement. He has to Tornado. Oh, man, I'm at the edge of my seat right now. If I'm EGW, I'm shaking my boots right now.
Yeah, EGW just hanging on by a thread. Only down a few hundred damage, though, in spite of some very questionable plays. We'll say 1328, 968, 75 seconds remain. EGW's life on the line. World Finals on the line.
Wizard over the river. Primed for an ability, if necessary. Evo Battery and Bridge. Will he pair it with the Vines? No, he's happy to save the Vines defensively, knowing he's up an elixir, or up damage right now, I should say.
That Miner barely comes down, but what does he have for the Wizard in the opposite lane? A late Executioner. And now we see a push coming in.
Wizard ability is going to pull, plus Vines. Absolutely takes out everything. Exy did get one shot on tower, though.
Yeah.
40 seconds left, Andrew.
2 HP remaining, 40 seconds on the clock. But the left-hand side is actually the weaker tower. Excuse me, 765 to 970. This battle will be won on the left side.
Wizard.
For EGW, but Dominik can go on the right. Here we go. Wizard over the middle. Gets on top of that bomb tower.
EGW thinks he has a chance now with the Wizard ability used. Will we see the ability? Vines on defense for the Balloon.
Oh my gosh, that tower on the right. The NATO has to come in.
Huge NATO plus Giant Skelly combo. Balloon death damage.
Oh my gosh.
6 seconds left.
The NATO plus the Giant Skeleton bomb just put 10 elixir in the ground for Dominik. That was an absolutely picture-perfect defense at the end. Sneaks in the offense at the end of that on the left-hand side. Lava Hound Rune Giant deck earlier. I can't imagine we'll see that again. Here we go. Game number 3. If EGW wins, he goes to World Finals. The ticket is punched. Dominik still trying to keep his World Finals chances alive. EGW loses this game. He's got to go through the LCQ. That is not where you want to be. Anything can happen on any given Sunday, and we'll see if today is that day for EGW. As the E-Barbs already doing him dirty. They go both to the right-hand side. Piggy's completely uncontested on the left, and he does go back to the Rune Giant. Excuse me.
Wow, Rune Giant Evo E-Barbs. I don't know about this. This is...
I don't either.
This just seems like... I want to try to cheese a win type of deck, and this just doesn't seem like I want to try a cheese a win type of situation.
Very well said. Yeah, I mean, and then the little prince comes out. This is a wild deck that EGW has put together. Obviously, the E-Barb's going to the right-hand lane. That's just incredibly unfortunate. But now when we look at what he's bringing to the table in game number 3, I'm with you, Juice. As AC would say, this feels a little too cute.
Yeah, and then Dominik, on the other hand, also just seems prepared for this. The Goblin Hut Furnace, really solid, especially since EGW most likely has arrows and not a big spell. So these Goblin Huts are going to be annoying, but the Furnace is going to be even better defensively here.
And now the Evo E-Barbs decide to split when EGW doesn't want them to.
Right.
And then a very clean up there. I mean, that's one of the things about this Hero Berserker. Feels like the Hero Berserker, Hero Valkyrie, who we haven't seen yet today, and the Evo E-Barbs all came into the game at the same time. And the Hero Berserker just goes, for 5 Elixir, I counter both of you. Berserker just such a good counter to the Evo E-Barbs and the Hero Valk.
Yeah, that's a great call, actually. So he's got the Furnace, he's got the Gob Hut for solid defense, and then the Berserker on top of that. And then on the other hand, Dominik, I mean, you can already see the strength of his offense in these Royal Hogs with the left side tower down to 1840 as we head into double Elixir.
Yeah, and that lightning just hurts if you're EGW. That lightning, as we just saw right there, cleaning up the Little Prince, the Inferno, and putting a lot of damage on that Rune Giant.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phoenix, I don't know, man. This deck just feels like you are hoping for... I mean, you know, if there's one thing we've seen before is that everything can come together in one push, and that is exactly what EGW is praying for with this deck that he's brought to this matchup.
Will Berserker ability pop here? No, but instead Evo Piggies. Freeze as well from EGW.
Juicy, what on earth am I looking at?
Yeah, it's very similar actually to a deck that's been used on ladder recently. But instead of Goblin Demolisher, we're seeing a Phoenix. A Goblin Demolisher would have been amazing in this situation. But at this point, like, the Lightning's too valuable. Dominik has the log for the Goblin Hut. The Furnace is locking down the lane. And the Freeze is not very valuable versus any of these cards. I don't know. I don't know if EGW is going to make this happen.
Yeah, I ran into that deck that you're talking about. The first time I ran into it, I was like, what on earth is this cheese? I'm about to destroy this player, and I was sorely mistaken.
Same. Piggies, Goblins, other lane, and you just don't have any crowd control that can take this out.
Goodness.
Freeze doesn't one-shot. Rage doesn't one-shot. It's a solid defense with his Little Prince. Surprised Dominik doesn't go for the Lightning. I mean, we've seen EGW in a situation like this before where we just thought it was over in his previous best of 3. Rune Giant, Evo, Inferno Dragon ended up having a different idea. Maybe there's a chance in triple Elixir, but I just don't know versus Evo Furnace.
Yeah, I actually really like that Dominik holds on that Lightning. I think it's such a great call. You know, he's got 0 tower damage. Well, actually, he just took his first lick of tower damage, and that Lightning could have been a slight overextension. Who knows? But instead opts to hold it there, and there you go. EGW, we'll see you next month, brother. Dominik, staying alive, still has hopes for his World Finals chances. You can see him celebrating, and EGW's Cinderella run comes to an end here in the lower bracket by our former CRL World Finalist.
Via the guaranteed points mathematically, Dominik is the only one who has not gotten that yet. He's secured himself a spot in the last chance qualifier, but that's not what he wants. He's already made it this far in this final monthly final of August, and right now is a big daunting task of beating Cal Sub in this match.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what you have to be able to win at the highest levels. You got to go through guys like this to qualify. You got to be able to feel that pressure, and we saw the celebration from Dominik. Maybe some of that for his boy Morten, who secured World Finals, but obviously most of it for himself, showing that he's still got what it takes to be at the highest level in the game. And now can he do it against one of the best to ever do it in sub? We'll find out here at the end of this best of 3 as that hog does connect on the left-hand side. Furnace going to be stopped. 3,007 HP is the lowest tower for sub, as Dominik has already taken about 500 damage.
This is just the unspoken strength of Hog Rider. The fact that you can play it early in a game where Dominik doesn't have his Goblin Hut and cycle right away. He has to play the Ice Spirit first. And then all of a sudden, with the little bit late to get the Goblin Hut in hand, with the Earthquake dropping down, you're not getting, you know, the Ops Lane Tower to help out. So you're just getting a solid 500 damage lead off rip with one Hog hit.
Poison coming down on that Firecracker. As this push will take a little bit of attention, and we'll see a delivery.
Another Hog Rider
going right back on offense.
Yeah, really nice goblet placement now. So he's done a good job of kind of fixing his. Oh, that was not necessary. Yeah, I'm totally with you. Huge over defense. And not only does this over defense mean that he's going to be low on elixir, but it's probably going to mean that he's going to get out-cycled, and he's not going to have Evo Snowball for the next defense. So I don't know. This is a tough mistake. Definitely the nerves starting to show a little bit for Doom here.
And I love Sub goes, I know I have an elixir advantage. Let me just continue to control the board. Tesla out right away, trying to get to that Evo Tesla. You want to play in the left-hand lane? I will go to the right. Sub doing all the right things at the moment.
Interesting decision from Sub to not Earthquake here. Instead, go ahead and just set up defense with a Firecracker, but a perfect snowball from Doom. You know, maybe he's a genius, Andrew. Maybe he purposely wasted his Evo Snowball so he could push the next Evo Firecracker into his push instead of away.
You know what? I'm with you. That's what it was. Because that is a very fascinating interaction that would not have been possible if that was not played. As we see the Graveyard come in, Delivery doing its work at the bridge again. Evo Tesla to clean up that Graveyard. Evo Tesla, one of the best counters in the game to that Graveyard.
And then just Earthquake cycle. I mean, it makes sense. After that solid defense with that Evo Tesla, you just drop another Earthquake on offense, and you continue this defense. And look at the delivery. He doesn't even need the Earthquake on defense. He's got delivery, he's got Skelly, he's got Electro Spirit. One Larry will make it for about one shot, but is that enough when you're down this much damage?
90 seconds remain, 500 HP between the two of them. Obviously, cycled EQs can still come in, but the one, I guess, silver lining that Dominik can take from this is knowing that Graveyard always wanting to play into the same lane, and Sub is now very committed to this left-hand side.
The other thing is this delivery is just so nice versus the Furnace. A lot of the time the Furnace is the super valuable card for Graveyard in a matchup like this. And it just seems like this, man, just seems like this delivery is just locking down everything at the bridge here.
I really like that Firecracker placement with the E-Spirit to help retarget that Furnace. Furnace got one shot in, but not enough to take the Firecracker off the board. And now an Earthquake going to come down, and a lot of Earthquake value there, hitting about everything on the board. And Sub almost gets another shot in from the Hog. Snowball comes out last second. Firecracker again in a frustrating spot for Doom.
Early Earthquake, late Gob Hut. He's letting the Firecracker go in the other lane, and it's Doom's time to attack. The Mighty Miner ability did not hit the Evo Furnace either, but with Evo Snowball and another delivery in cycle, I just don't think it matters.
And Mighty Miner doing some good work on that right-hand side. Now the ability to go opposite lane, and Sub takes that opportunity. That is a great call here. You don't want to keep going in the same lane in these final moments, as that gives Dom the opportunity to get a counter push. And now you see he's caught defending on the right-hand side. Great plays from Sub all throughout. And Dominik maybe feeling the nerves just a little bit.
The nerves is one thing. The other thing is Evo Tesla, Electro Spirit, Earthquake for a Graveyard.
Yeah.
And then a Hog Rider with a quick cycle to break through some Gob Huts. It seems like Dominik's best chance is right here, right now for Sub, a reverse sweep. Let's see what deck he's going to bring in order to make that happen.
Yeah, reverse sweep against Sub. That is a tough and tall task, and a good luck out from Dom. Sub says, I'm dialed, man. I don't want... I'll give you the good luck later. I'll give you the well played.
Evo Skeleton Army from Doom, splitting it to trying to deal with these Roll Hogs, and Sub does go to the Roll Hogs with the Gob Hut, with the Furnace most likely, in order to try and counter this Balloon deck, but a Musketeer instead of Furnace, even more air defense.
Yeah, what a tough draw there for Dominik, but he does get a shot in.
Wow. I mean, that's a huge situation. And yeah, you're right. It really just comes down to that Skeleton Army, right? Distracting that Musketeer.
And does get the ability off in time, so now this Musketeer becomes a bit of a threat. Hero Berserker gets on top of tower and baits out those minions, which should be easy cleanup. And now we're basically back to even. Sub up by about half an elixir.
Let's see. I don't think Doom's playing lava here. I think he's gonna... Oh, I'm an idiot.
It's exactly the caster curse that we all love and adore.
Let's see. I guess the Skeleton Army probably drops here. What I was thinking is, like, I would like to get my Evo Skeleton Army cycle and before I go in for an attack, but Doom knows better than I. He wants to make this attack early in single elixir, most likely, and he does have the Vomit to rely on defensively. problem is this Godpud plus Musketeer combo is so strong. And I think Doom tried to hit the balloon ability and it didn't go off. I could be wrong there. It looked like his elixir bar got drained and it just didn't go off.
Kind of exactly what we were talking about just like Doom maybe going to lava as his comfort, and then Sub maybe relying on some of the strongest things in the meta and those Royal Hogs that he has not really played this weekend. Just going with a different version of the Musketeer. And Juicy, I think that's because of his opponent. You know, you think about Dominik and you think about trying to cover your bases without changing the deck too much, and he just goes, all right, well, Musketeer is better than a lot of the other cards or the air units that come with this deck, and somehow still gets on tower there. Some of those Skellies locked behind, it looked like, and Hero Berserker gets some more damage in. This is kind of a do or die moment for Dominik with only 587 remaining. Hero Berserker there down. Again.
Berserker gets one hit, no ability played. I'm sure we'll see a balloon ability. No, he does go for it, but doesn't really work the way he wants.
Wow.
With death damage, but the Musketeer is just alive, Andrew. The Musketeer just cleans everything up, and it's some damage, but I don't think it's enough.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, a lot closer than I thought he might be in this moment. 905 to 506, but this is where it becomes really difficult to get another Lava Hound on the board. You know, we were talking so much earlier about with that Lava Hound, you have to know when to take damage, and right now you can't really take much damage. Takes one Hoggy hit there, and Evo Inferno always scary as it shreds through that Berserker and the Ice Spirit. And Dominik can't believe it. The ability doesn't go off for the Hero Berserker. That's crazy.
Oh my goodness. I hope we can see a replay on that. But what a play from Doom. I mean, this is just what he does, man. This is how he plays constant Lava Hound on ladder.
Like, oh, they know that I've leaned on it all weekend, so they're going to try to counter it, but then they're going to think that I'm not going to play it, so then they play something else. Here we go. Game number 3. Cinderella story for Dom. Still alive here. 1-1. Player that loses goes home. Sub already punched his ticket to World Finals. Can Dominik do it too?
All right, Gold Knight in the back. Okay. So not Hoggy Q. Going with something a little heavier, perhaps. What is...
Wow, an Archer Queen. Archer Queen probably maybe the most affected by that champion and hero nerf. I feel like Archer Queens, you would almost regularly get that second ability off.
Right.
And that was what made her so strong.
Yeah, that's well said. Very true. So Archer Queen, minor poison for Sub. Not Hoggy Q, but Dominik does go for Hog, and the Mega Knight at 1 HP gets a jump. Doom's feeling pretty good about it. It's definitely not game over by any means, but what a solid start for the German player here.
Yeah, I wonder if Sub is just feeling a little bit tilted from that end of the second game. I don't know how you couldn't, but just to go back to what we were saying about Adriel against Pedro, is sometimes things happen in Clash Royale that you don't expect, or you make the smallest misplay and your opponent takes advantage of it. Sub's got to wash that from his mind. Memory of a goldfish here.
Allows the Gold Knight to attack first, then ability. Makes a lot of sense. Fisherman pre-plays to pull the miner away from tower here. Log trying to get this queen to break through, but a ghost is down, ready to go. So he's got a Evo Mega Knight, and he's got the Golden Knight for hero. I'm trying to figure out what this other Evo is going to end up being. It is the E-Barbs for Doom.
And that last push there was a moment that historically we probably would have seen that second Archer Queen ability come down.
Mm-hmm. That's such a good call. It's so important. His Sub is just a little bit weaker with this Archer Queen. Little less value on the offensive side of things.
Yeah, it's so interesting that Sub goes to this deck. He's basically just like, I know that my micro is better than yours. I can outplay you. But as of right now, Dominik in the lead, and this Hog Rider is going to need some more attention.
And
as we
here
see,
we go.
Oh wow, 4 elixir in the tank. So Guard's gonna go up high here. Guard's a decent response to those Evo E-Barbs with the shields and the DPS.
And the Valkyrie turns around and comes back with a perfect miner placement. I mean, but then the bad micro, Sub's shaking his head, and he has to log. I mean, at least he had the log in hand there, but Doom is just applying so much pressure here.
That's crazy that Royal Ghost was not targeted, or did not target on top of that Hero Valk, and the Clash Royale gods just leaning on Dominik right now. And this is a scary Golden Knight. He gets that Fire Spirit up high.
The fact that he has to waste the Fire Spirit in order to counter the Golden Knight, though, means this Spear Empress continues to stay alive at 1 HP. A Ground Empress now in front, tanking for the Spear Empress, and he finally successfully defends, but now there's another Hog.
Cannon, there's the cannon up high, and Sub somehow gets out of that, still taking a good amount of damage, and the Hog hit comes in, and you can see every little thing Sub is responding to. He's emoting, whether it's a shake of the head, a tilt of the head. You can see that everything is getting to him right now, as we're only at 68 seconds remaining in overtime, and Sub is playing a minor poison control deck. That is not a good spot to be in.
Archer Queen of the bridge, guards of the bridge. He knows he needs damage, but this is not going to work versus this Golden Knight dash, and now it's just Dominik's turn to attack. Spirit Empress, no Hog at the bridge.
And that Hog, wow, every single, and look at Dominik. Look at Dominik as he knows he is still alive, and he is moving on to our lower bracket finals. Everything going wrong for Sub in game number 3.
Oh my goodness, Doom. The World Finals dreams are alive.
Wow.
He beats last year's second place World Finals finisher 2-1 in a best of 3. This is insane.
Up to me the most, been the most impressive to me today with Dominik is just the fact that he's a very emotional guy. If you guys know him or have seen him compete, he's just incredibly emotional. Obviously, you guys have seen a lot more celebration today, but I think his ability to bounce back from losses throughout the day, pull off those reverse sweeps, has just shown the maturity over the last few years.
So true. All right, we're heading in game 1. Dominik going straight in with the roll of Hogs. Pedro looks to be Hog EQ, except with that delivery variation, which is just such a smart pick versus Doom, because you cover your bases versus Lava, but then also just really valuable versus the Mortar decks and the Roll Hogs decks that Doom is playing recently.
And even just getting on top of the Goblin Doctor when the Stein crosses the bridge, all those things, delivery, as you said, really, really great pick here as that Firecracker comes out, and trying to protect the Firecracker a little bit is Doom, is Pedro. And that's some conversation I'm sure we'll be having a lot as this game progresses.
True. Yeah, it's all about the Firecracker protection versus that Bar Barrel. Can you successfully keep it alive while also preventing the Electro Spirit from getting the final hit? Pedro attempting to actually King activation with the Firecracker there, but the E-Spirit takes a weird chain path.
I did see that double drop from Coco yesterday to activate King Tower, and while I don't know how often we'll see that play because it is expensive, it was kind of cool to see just the level that these pro players are thinking.
Yeah, and that King activation can be super valuable and stuff in matchups like this. Just like these Roll Hogs are pretty valuable right now. Two of them.
Wow.
It's just such an awkward way to defend, right? It's such an awkward thing to defend when that cannon's pulling 2 and the other 2 are getting pulled. He does a decent job, but Doom's starting to kind of get back into the damage situation while also having his King active now.
Yeah, it's so interesting when you look at how buildings are placed or how they should be placed when you're going up against those evil Royal Hogs. I mean, you really just got to place them high and inside to ensure that you are not worried about a couple of them sneaking on through, because all it takes is a couple. That's enough damage to make it worth it.
Delivery drops on the left. I think that's just a huge mistake. There's more Roll Hogs on the right and an evil Archer. I guess he's more worried about the weaker lane tower. Honestly, much better than our defense than I originally thought it would end up being.
Yeah, ends up actually being pretty clean there, and obviously Pedro, one of the best defensive players in the game.
Definitely.
21-52, the lowest for Dominik. 20-53, the lowest for Pedro, and opposite sides of the board.
Really solid lightning. And that's like the big difference maker when it comes to the spells here, is just it's just a volatile spell. It's just, you never know when that thing's going to drop down instantly to not only get solid amounts of damage, but also get that instant breakthrough on buildings.
That was a great E-Spirit Bar Barrel combo. Just expecting the Evo Firecracker to come out, chains on top of the Firecracker, so the Bar Barrel is able to take it off the board. And I think because of that heads-up play, he now gets himself on top of the tower. Smart to not use the ability and go in with the piggies instead. And Dominik continues to show why he is here.
Oh my goodness, what a play. Like, a lot of the times in this situation, after that lightning, you just relax, you take your damage. But Doom says no, his cannon's out of cycle, his delivery, I heard it, it just got played down onto my Gobstein scientist. I want to go ahead and send these piggies in, and then he just keeps up the pressure. He just takes this momentum and he keeps running with it, continuing to get lightning value and getting more values from his evolutions.
The E-Spirit chain plus the Bar Barrel has been exceptional from Dominik to bring that Firecracker completely out of the conversation.
So true. Firecracker, the only thing that maybe could get him some damage, but look at this surgical defense. Gobstein to tank, Archers to snipe, and then straight up with the Peggy's counter push.
And this is the placement I'm talking about with the building. You just got to go high and inside, which is always a little bit uncomfortable. Piggies still break on through for a little bit more damage. As you just said, Juicy, the surgical defense from Dominik continues.
Seems like Pedro finally realized that he needs to go opposite lane versus these lightnings. But at this point, it might be a little bit too late. I mean, I don't want to say that, though, because these Firecrackers are starting to build up.
And lightning defensively, Bar Barrel in, and I love this play from Dominik, just recognizing I don't need any more damage. I've got more than enough. I have the lightning. Let me just defend out here. Firecrackers can't connect. Always have something ready to go against the Hog. And Dominik taking game number 1, going from world number 2 to world number 2, back to back. Yeah, and I think also, you know, when you talk about the pressure, Doom knows he's not done for 2026. He does still have that LCQ to rely on, so he doesn't maybe feel the exact same pressure that EGW felt earlier, where EGW was in that same boat. But I think in EGW's mind, he's like, I've been to monthly finals, I've gotten all these points, I really just want to get that golden ticket. Whereas I feel like Dominik is like, bro, I'm going to world finals regardless, whether I play or whether I commentate, you know?
Yeah, I misspoke. Dominik's not forcing his game 3. He's just up 1-0 right now, putting Pedro in an even more difficult spot. Tornado has to pull the Giant Skelly. That's crazy that the bomb tower didn't pull that there. And then look at this. Doom just defends the miner of the Giant Skelly, sends in a Graveyard, gets over 1,000 damage, and he's just up enough elixir for this Valkyrie not to matter too much either.
Yeah, like so aggressive right out the gate with Graveyard, and not a problem at all, and so much damage done.
Man, and Pedro thinks he might be up enough to try to get a Valkyrie connection. He does get one hit at least, but it just seems like Pedro's just on a major deficit already. And I don't know, maybe you're just not allowed to play the miner in the tower. I don't know.
Good poison value here for Dominik. Man, this has been really fun to watch him today.
I know.
He has just been a really, really great player.
Great plays, great reactions, and what a story as well. Like, I feel like so many people doubted him. So many people are rooting against him, but he takes it all on his shoulders and says, I don't care. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this because I know I can.
And Snowball to push to keep that Goblin Hut effective. The zap does come in, but I believe that's far enough away. No, it's not. It does get on top of the tower and obviously does some good damage to that furnace.
Berserker with the furnace makes sense, especially with how many fire spirits are able to spawn in. I wonder if we hit the ability. No, he decides not to, and it makes sense. Like, he just wants to protect his tower here. Oh my.
Wow. Interesting NATO there. I mean, I don't know if the furnace would have been taken off the board 100% with just the hero Valk ability, but the graveyard or the NATO ensures it as the graveyard comes down.
Definitely some interesting plays from Doom with the Giant Skelly placement there. Would have liked to see it a little bit further up, but he does counter push pretty well. You see Berserker ability cleaning up the tanks for this balloon quite nicely. Ice Spirit too close though, so maybe some nerves getting to Doom right now.
Yeah, I mean, Doom knows the interactions of Balloon inside and out. He knows he has the Snowball. Would have been nice for him to just hold that Ice Spirit for a second longer to save that Snowball.
Yeah.
But you know, still in the lead by a good amount. And I almost wonder, no, I was like, do you want to just focus on the other lane? But I think he needs to stick where he is. That Hero Valk should get on tower again. Not as much damage this time. Executioner, old Executioner would have connected.
Yeah, old Executioner would have connected, and I thought it would do too after that snowball, but he's just barely holding on. If you're Doom right now, you got to take a deep breath, man. You're in the lead.
Yeah.
Deep breath, slow things down, and just take this win. You have it here.
Oh, not quite. Oh, there it is. It was. Just enough damage comes in. And Dominik with the 2-0 over Pedro. Wait, 3 HP remains. Where's the snowball? Snowball's in, and Dominik's neighbors are hearing it. Dominik's whole family is hearing it. Dominik goes 0-1 against Sub, and then goes 4-0 between Sub and Pedro. Drops a game 4 in a row against 2 former world number 2s, and now Dominik is in our lower bracket final. The dream continues, and then there were 3. Dominik, Mugi, and Adriel. You heard that right. Dominik from back in 2022 World Finals is here in our lower bracket finals. One.
Yeah, that's literally exactly what I was gonna talk or like mention. Is just this idea of like Adriel has more best of 5. I mean, you talk about the difference in momentum right now with Adriel, you know, kind of being in a little bit of a low off of that very frustrating win, and Dominik having a lot of momentum after the last solid win, and maybe that's even playing a factor in like the choice of deck here. Maybe Dominik wants to just remind Adriel of what just happened, run another version of this bait deck that Adriel struggled against, but at the same time, you know, Adriel just has more experience in this best of 5 format.
Yeah, I feel like this is like a tilt troll play where it's like, you know what really pissed Adriel off was this deck, and I'm gonna run it in game number 1 just to get him right back in his head.
Evo minion horde dropping down. I just got really important information from the analyst that's been helping us today. Shout out to Jury. He said that Doom has actually been picking for himself this entire weekend when it comes to his decks. But the problem that in itself is very impressive, even in best of 3. But that becomes very, very difficult to do in a best of 5 format.
Yeah, we're always saying that the best of 3s is obviously where the coach and the analysts come through, but the best of 5 is where they really make their money.
Yeah. Okay, so looking at this matchup, though, we have Mortar versus Hyperbait. I think that in general, this can be difficult on both sides of the equation because you don't have a lot of splash damage and spells for the Hyper. He does have the Mother Witch, but he gets distracted on the Skelly King. And then on the other hand, you know, there's not really much to actually counter the Mortar. But, oh man, he's got Gobsime version as well. I might just have to be incorrect about what I'm saying right now. But, I mean, it's still the pressure on the right is working.
Damage is in. Only a little bit of damage on the left here for Dominik as Adriel takes a boatload on the right-hand side. His tower down to about 50% HP.
Doom keeping up the pressure. Evo Skeleton Barrel. Forcing out defensive Evo Mortar. Skelly's up high to snipe that Dark Gob. And no log going down, but it is unnecessary for all these skeletons. Solid defense, but that, like you always tell us, Andrew, that's just not how you want to use your Evo Mortar.
Yeah, totally. Especially in this situation. I mean, the Evo Minion Horde is a really interesting thing here because you think you can get some value out of it, but then you look at the Rascal Girls, the Evo Barrel, or the regular barrel, and the Dark Goblin.
Yeah, Dominik's definitely in a difficult situation, but being up this amount of damage, it's definitely possible to come out with something here. Evo Skarmy Bridge with the Skeleton King. Mother Witch going to do its best. No Vines and Cycle for Mother Witch is actually huge for Adriel right now.
Push kind of dying on the Vine there and now giving a good advantage here to Adriel in terms of Elixir on the board.
Fireball dropping down. That's going to spawn a Piggy from that Rascal Boy as well. And Skeleton Army.
The Skarmy here. The Mother Witch now going to get even more value.
Great plays from Adriel. And now it's just evened up. He's going to instantly drop the defensive Mortar. I think that's a very principled play.
Yep. Really smart. He evens things up, knows that he has the spell power, knows that he has the counter with the Mother Witch.
Right.
The Goblinstein can really help with the Swarm.
Yeah.
I like this.
And then he's just stacking up units. Mortar should tank for that Dark Goblin. And then there you go. Like you said, Fireball's coming out. Doesn't hit tower. I like this idea from Doom to go for the Vines plus Skarmy to prevent Gobstein. But then you just run into the Mother Witch. So it's like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think what Doom needed to recognize was that Mother Witch was such a big problem earlier on that the Vines needs to be saved for the Mother Witch, or at least you need to make sure the Mother Witch is no longer part of the conversation. And the fact that he's already had to play a Skarmy into a Mother Witch twice is also just bad news. Bad news bears, man.
Evo Skelly Barrel, this might be the one chance that he has. But look at that. Mortar's played on defense. The Gobstein ability is melting. Skelly King left side, though. Dark Gob's locked.
Protected.
Vines dropping.
Wait!
Are you kidding me?
Wait! No way! The Vines! The Vines comes through!
It's not over. Mother Witch spawns a Piggy. Adriel needs an absurd offense right now with the last 12 seconds.
High barrel there to get the minions invisible. Dark Goblin way down low. Fireball going to go on top of the Dark Goblin, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Skeleton King is high, and Dominik, with the most tilt play in history, is to go and run this deck after Adriel just lost to it, and Adriel loses to it again, and now he is on a 4-game losing streak. That's insane. Just because it felt like it was kind of unstoppable in the previous set.
Right.
And then if I'm Dominik, I think I want to do whatever I can to know that I have enough melee damage on the ground to deal with it. We haven't seen people be able to deal with that bridge spam deck very well, and that's a good start right there. And we might be seeing exactly what I'm saying. Hero Valkyrie comes out for Adriel.
Yep. I think it's a great call. Okay, Furnace, though. Maybe just a Graveyard variation then.
Yeah.
And then what's Doom going to have? I mean, man, if Doom just has a Mother Witch for Graveyard here, with the Valkyrie as well for Graveyard and stuff. I mean,
wait,
Adriel,
is he just copying Adriel's decks?
I think.
I mean, the Mugi's decks?
He might be copying Moogie's decks.
He's like, you know who has an analyst? Mugi. You know who?
Moogie must have an analyst, and he did really good versus Adriel 1 second ago. Like when I was talking about how Dominik should sit back, relax, and learn from watching this next best of 5, this is not what I meant.
Yo. Okay, we'll see.
These Evo E-Barbs are so threatening. I think Adriel does have guards in cycle, and he has enough right now. So he will drop that down, but the fact that they're just chucking spears at your tower is just, it's so frustrating. Look at this push.
Nice heal spirit here.
Look at Adriel's elixir bar, Andrew.
He has nothing. He has nothing for this. You don't even need to use the ability.
Straight up.
Bro, I feel like Adriel is so tilted right now. I don't think I've ever seen him kind of collapse like this.
Oh, I don't even know. I honestly, I mean, and you know, like I try to stay pretty objective. I don't even know if that was his fault, because guards out of cycle. I mean, Valkyrie's in cycle. Maybe you just can't play the Tesla there. Yeah, maybe you just need to play Valk. I'm not sure. That was brutal.
Wow. Valk does come down to protect, but arrows come out to clean up. And it seems like Dominik just always has the ace up his sleeve.
Okay, it's definitely not impossible for a comeback to happen. There's Hero Valkyrie, there's Evo Furnace. Dominik does not have a big spell for Evo Furnace. There's guards, and then Graveyard's a huge threat. Yes, the Mother Witch is an option, but I'm sure he'll have a poison for that as well. It's definitely possible for Adriel to come back here. There's still 2 minutes of overtime left in this game.
And 7+ elixir to deal. Nice heal spirit there. Does get a connection on 1, and now the Evo battle ram behind. Evo Tesla probably in cycle. There it is. Clean defense from Adriel. A little smile on Adriel's face. I wonder if he read that from top to bottom and is going to go back on offense.
Yeah. There it is.
And he can't play the hero ability. Dom can't, or at least not early, because he has to get the Mother Witch down.
I was thinking the same exact thing, but yeah, he still figured it out somehow. Yeah, he just Mother Witch first, ability second, cleans up the defense. Yeah, that's the one thing, right? Is this hero Valkyrie is actually really hard for Adriel to stop.
Yeah. Heal Spirit again, but doesn't get on top of the Ram.
Graveyard.
Interesting. I'm feeling kind of what we were feeling before with Doom, where he needs to just kind of pump the brakes a little bit, calm down, recognize that he has a substantial lead, and start thinking more about his defense. But here we go. Pressure on the left. Can he break through? I think he can't. Oh, perfect Ice Spirit.
Snowball? Valkyrie? Okay. But then the Bandit on the right. Snowball has to come out over there instead. And Doom is now in that situation where he loves to be in, where he just has so much momentum. What
and
the
goes
heck?
Mother Witch high here. So the graveyard comes down, but no tank for the graveyard.
No
But look at this
snowballs
push
in
on the
cycle.
left, dude. There's no way. Wow. Doom adding to the win column. Adriel adding to the loss column.
My goodness. On the other hand, I mean, Adriel does have... There's always options, right? I feel like there's always options, except for when it comes to Goblin Barrel specifically. Like, once you run out of E-Spirit, Log, and Bar Barrel, it's really hard to defend the Goblin Barrel. But looks like you're right. Looks like Doom's going to the skies. He's going with comfort. Let's see if it's going to work out for a 3-0 sweep versus Adriel.
Man, that would be so crazy if he goes 5-0 against Pedro and Adriel.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Super
Hero
aggression.
ability in early. And this balloon is not going to connect. Does, I think, get death damage. And there it is.
Yeah, I do wonder if you're right about that. I wonder if a little bit more patience on the hero balloon there to take out the spears is slightly more optimal. On the other hand, a lot of the times what we see in that situation is the early balloon ability and then a late zap in order to get a balloon connection. But Doom with cycling zap off rip on the first play just didn't have that in cycle quite yet.
So Hog going back in. I mean, the good thing here is that he's got the... Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The Firecracker plus E-Spirit is not bad. You see Doom there with a little bit of a shake of the head. Someone asking in the chat why we're calling him Doom instead of Dominik. That's his OG ladder name, in-game name.
Are these barbs just... Okay, I was going to say, if this just goes to tower, that's a huge mistake. Yeah. But I'm obviously not the best lava player in the world. I think...
Fireball down.
Yeah, just one other thing I really wanted to mention is just like the urgency in cycling the zap. The fact that Doom has Evo and zap, he's had it in cycle for the last 60 seconds is so nice for dealing with his next Evo Firecracker.
And he's just going to go for a tower trade.
Oh my
I think he knows the Hog's going to come down there. And exactly what you're saying, Juicy, with the Evo Zap, he knows he has a good way to deal with the Firecracker. And there it is, Evo Zap up high. Now Balloon over the bridge. Instant ability.
I don't know if this works.
And a second HUD is there.
Second HUD's there. Gold Knight dash cleans up. There's going to be another Firecracker right now. Fireball, there's not enough elixir for it. And then Adriel has the roll delivery to boot. He can play it on whichever side he thinks is the greater threat.
Aggressive at the bridge. I don't think this is going to be enough. There it is, the late Golden Knight. Even though the Mega Minion is on tower, he gives the well played. And Adriel gets a ever important win here. Obviously staving off elimination in that the deck pool is getting pretty slim here for Dom, and he is in uncharted territory. And Adriel looking like he's got a little bit more pep in his step here in this game.
Yeah. All right, Piggies at the bridge. Evo Piggies, I think it's a great idea.
Do you see that smile? Do you see that smile?
Yeah.
That's either the, I can't believe he did it and we didn't cover it, or I have your exact number. For a minute there in the beginning with the smile, I thought he was like, oh, I got you.
Yeah.
But then it almost seemed like this is the one thing that we didn't have covered, so we're going to find out.
Man, it's tough. I think it's the I think it's the former. I think that Adriel's probably in a pretty good situation here because he's going to have Executioner. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Doom's going to have Lightning for Executioner. He's got great air defense. I think you're right. I think it might just mean... I think Adriel might be in a lot of trouble right now.
So Archer stays alive. Bomb Tower's there to clean up. And then we go aggressive at the bridge with the Goblinstein. There's the Exy to line everything up, which Doom had to have expected was in his hand. But, you know, a couple Goblinstein shots, not the end of the world. And he does use the ability. I don't know.
Late. That's late.
Yeah, I think he was caught between deciding if he wanted to use it or not. And he should have just used it early.
Yeah, definitely. E-Spirit on
you
defense.
either have to use it early there or not at all.
Exactly. You said that perfectly. Okay, so looking at the situation, right? What are the air defenses? Let's identify the threats. So it's Goblinstein and it's Archers. Adriel does actually have Evo Zap for Evo Archers. He has Executioner to deal with the Gobstein. Dominik does have Lightning to deal with Eggsy, but Eggsy on defense can be really solid. And then also the Tombstone, though. The Tombstone's so strong to deal with the Royal Hog since Doom is not playing Log. So now I'm changing my opinion again. I just feels... it does feel like it's going to be hard for these piggies to make it to the tower. But the question is, does Adriel get this balloon? Does he ever get damage himself? I don't know. It's close.
Yeah, Dominik might just be able to lightning cycle this game with a little bit of Goblinstein damage here and there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't even know if he needs to play the pigs for a long time because he's got that lightning damage.
Right. Balloon in. This is big.
Interesting
Minor.
dual lane pressure here.
Trying to take out this Archer, but it doesn't succeed. And then look at the Archers. There's so many Archers on the board. Doom's in such a good situation.
Those skeletons from Doom just distracting the miner for a couple hits, and another set of Archers, like you said, Juice, comes down. Great defense on both sides. Doom gonna go in here with the push on the left-hand side with the Royal Hogs. Nice zap to clean up.
I think you're right. I think there is just great defense on both sides. The problem is Doom has a Lightning and Adriel doesn't.
Yeah.
Is that what it comes down to?
Shot. Here we go. Miner on top goes with a Lightning this time instead.
Wait.
But there's no. Where's the building? There's the building. Late. And then the E-Spirit.
That's that damage, though.
Wow.
That's something. It's not that damage.
No.
I lied. Man, perfect defense from Doom. There's a minute 25 left here.
What do I do if I'm Doom? I think he has to just keep defending. Maybe send Piggies in on the right-hand side just to pull Elixir out. At least the Executioner and the Giant Skeleton are in different lanes, or just keep defending. And it looks like he's going with the defending option. I mean, these Archers up high, it might feel uncomfortable for some of you people at home watching to play Archers right at the bridge, but that just doesn't give any value, and you have to drop other units down on the board to take them off, like an Executioner up high like we're seeing there.
Man, I just don't understand how they didn't expect this deck. Adriel and his coach, like this is crazy.
Right? It's like the #1 ladder deck.
Literally. Eggsy on defense. Evo Archers are getting so much value though. 2 Gobstein monsters. Honestly, fantastic defense from Adriel. He does have 2 Giant Skeletons on the board with 30 seconds left, but one of these Evo Archers is still alive. And look at Doom. He cycled the bomb tower early, and now he's back to another one. He's back to the bomb tower and another set of Archers. This balloon is going to get pulled all the way to the middle of the map, and there is no chance for a connection right now.
And the death damage from the first bomb tower as the lineup to the second, helping take that balloon off board. Now you don't even need the lightning. No, you just go lightning on. Where's the lightning? Okay, there. Oh, I was like, bro, if that death damage comes through, look at this, Dominik. Wow. Dominik in our August Grand Finals. You heard that right. The Cinderella story, the run of the ages, insane. Sent down to the lower bracket in round 1. 2-0 over Saudi. 2-0 over Asaf. 2-1 over EGW. 2-1 over Sub. 2-0 over Pedro. And now 3-1 over Adriel.
Take a deep breath, Dominik. Just take a deep breath. There it is. He's doing it right now. And what? He's got a pancake tower, Andrew.
No way. I mean, is it like... Did he mean to? Did he mean to?
I'm sure he meant to. He's bringing a golem deck. It has to just be a golem deck.
It has to be golem. He just had that weird look on his face for a second, but it's just, I think he was just taking another breath. He had kind of like a grimace on his face, as if he was like, oh, how did that get there? But I can't imagine that's the case. No one's playing Pancake Tower, so for it to even be the tower of choice, you had to go and pick it. So here we go. There's the golem. I was going to say the only thing, and you said it right away, but like the only thing that we ever see Pancake Tower with is golem.
Yeah.
Unless you're in mid ladder.
I'm not gonna lie, this is a fantastic situation for Doom. I don't love the zap though. I would have loved to see some sort of support card to counter that bad ram that can go behind the golem. He does cycle to the Valk.
Wants the hero Valk. He wants the hero Valk so he can get on top of tower.
Oh my goodness.
Now he needs to use the ability. Oh my goodness.
It's fine.
The timing. The timing.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
0 damage until the Golemites get on tower with the most perfect vines from Mugi at the exact moment that Dominik hits that ability. And now we're going for a tower trade.
This is crazy. I thought for sure he'd play E-Barbs on defense, but he goes opposite lane. I don't know if it works though, dude.
I don't think so. I don't think he has enough to defend. I mean, I think that actually might have been the best play, because now you're in a single tower situation, but you're on opposite sides of the board. That wizard's going to get another shot. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
On earth?
Yeah, I also just have to point out that he missed the arrows on the wizard earlier, so that would have probably helped him save another 200, 300 damage on his king here. This is wild gameplay right now. Insane.
Oh my goodness.
Someone asked in the chat, does Mugi have a big spell? No, Mugi has Barbaro and Vines. It'd be really hard to Vine cycle from the situation. It's not over, but it is difficult.
Wow. Oh no. Okay. The Vines usage has been crazy as Dom just lets that giant skeleton go to town on his princess tower, looking to get like a golem in the pocket or Valk in the pocket situation.
Wait.
This is crazy.
Wait. Hero Valkyrie ability, level 12 Phoenix and Night Witch on the King Tower.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Doom takes game #1.
No way, dude! And Mugi takes his second loss of the weekend. Dominik, dude, all he could do right now is just take a breath. Take a breath, bro. Here we go.
Ooh, okay, Hog at the Bridge. Slow, methodical, patient fisherman here to defend. E-Spirit not going to work the way Mugi wants.
Whew. Okay.
Okay.
And
All right.
the reset.
All right, so
All
what?
of us need to take a breath.
I know, literally. But what a pace change, eh? Like we go
Yeah.
Golem Pancake Tower versus Giant Skelly Bridge Spam 3-crown race to one of the most standard, solid, methodical games or matchups in Clash Royale, which is just RG Monk versus Hoggy Q.
And this should be able to pull. That E-Spirit is going to do a great job.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, Doom is just playing great right now. He should get a shot. There it is. Does he get a second? He does.
He's moving different.
He is.
Wow. So 2 RG shots off the rip, just putting together the push. Sometimes that's all you need to do with RG is just put together that Monk RG Fisherman combo. Does he have a counter to this Hog though? Interesting.
He says, one thing that I'm good at is taking damage.
Yeah, I like it.
Mugi happy to go opposite lane and make this a cross-court battle.
Firecracker seems wasted to the uneducated eye, but This is just cycling to Evo Firecracker. Could it be very valuable later in the match?
And Fishboy ready to go. Does get a shot still, is the Hog. And 10 Elixir in the tank to defend.
Wow, this is
Immediate ability, but the Firecracker is out of range, so it doesn't actually go to the Monk.
Yeah, that did not go as Doom envisioned it for sure.
And delivery back and cycled, but does the Wizard connect? It does. 2 shots, huge. I take that Fireball for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. If the Wizard doesn't connect there, he doesn't play the Fireball because he saves Elixir to make another push. But after the Wizard connects, you just continue your HP advantage with that Fireball, and then you're happy to set up some defense.
And that's exactly what we're seeing right here. Monk gonna push. Oh no, he decides to use the ability.
Makes sense.
And here we go, Fishboy up high again. Guards are late. I mean, Goblins are late. No, they're not. They came in just in time.
But the the Bar Barrel clears the way, and then the Fisherman does get pulled. But by the time everything drops down, solid defense, and now Moogie's trying to attack.
Yeah, no Fishboy in cycle. The E-Spirit really going to help there, even though the Fireball comes down. That's a great E-Spirit there from Moogie.
And a shake of the head from Doom as well. And he knows that if he places this Fireball to push the Hog backwards, he doesn't take that hit. Oh, man. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Dude, I still feel like I'm catching my breath from that last game. This is great. This is great Clash Royale. Here we go. Firecracker Splash does not hit tower.
He protects, but the Monk really does take this out. Problem is, Doom's going down the wrong lane right now. We're heading into triple Elixir. He needs to get the double RG push. He plays the RG in the back with the Monk blocking the right lane. I like this idea. Can Moogie put together the defense he needs, though?
Fishboy up high to pull, and Fishboy going to help in the lane that we want, or he wants, I should say.
This push is insane, Andrew.
Yeah, this is a big push, and the Mighty Miner does get pulled. We got double RG, and the Evo RG is so healthy. Does get on top of that. Wow. And he calls the early good game. Dominik on a dream run.
What is happening, Andrew?
I don't know. To give Fisherman time before it takes the RG off the board. All of it was just so well played. There was the one time when the Goblins did distract, but the Bar Barrel came in. Here we go. Game number 3. Grand Finals.
Bro, right now it just feels like Doom wants it more. Like,
I know.
For Dominik, this is World Finals or not. For Moogie, this is still $6,000 and better seating. But it just, yeah, Doom's just playing so well. What's he bringing for us to see today? He's got what looks to be a bridge spam deck. Moogie with a really solid Piggy cycle.
Already these zappies could be frustrating for Moogie to deal with as the game goes on. We'll see.
True. Zappy is...
Steve in the chat saying, how can you not root for this guy now? I know. It's just crazy. Literally. The emotion, the plays, the underdog story.
Lightning drops down. Battle Ram Bridge instantly. Goblina is here with the skeletons. I'd like the solid like one tile up just to make sure this Giant Slate doesn't push the Battle Ram away. Doom keeps with the pressure.
Nice plays there from Moogie.
Yeah, it was surgical.
I like all of it. I like it from both those guys. I like the pressure from Doom, looking to see a mistake or looking to see if the cycle's not there. I like the way that Moogie played that out, and now we're back to basically even. Moogie up by just about a half elixir.
So last card from Doom, I just assume is Vines.
Right.
It just synergized so well with Evo Battle Ram to get that huge connection. And then Moogie, on the other hand, we see his full deck. It does seem like he's got strong defenses. The Snowball's great for Battle Rams. Evo Snowball's gonna be great for those big pushes. It seems like it's really in Moogie's court here. If Doom can force a mistake, there's a what is happening right now?
There you go. I mean, the Rhino's definitely gonna get on tower here. And should get one more. It does. 2391, 2350, and now Mugi going all in, but Dom has 10 elixir to deal with it. The lightning comes in, though. Mother Witch stays alive.
Yeah, lightning block there with the Dark Prince. It goes Zappies, and then the Evo Battle Ram and Cycle. There should be an Evo Snow here, though.
Where's the Heal Spirit? There's the late Heal Spirit. I love the patience on the Heal Spirit.
But the Berserker! Is the Berserker ability what he needs? It's not over. There's still piggies running down this lane.
Evo Lumberjack. That's 4 Zappies, a Mother Witch, a Dark Prince, and a Barb on the board. And Dominik already just running away with it. He's already celebrating. He goes 3-0. He goes 3-0 against our former 2-time world champion.
Oh my goodness. This is insane.
This is crazy.
3 days ago on Twitter, I saw someone posting about how Dominik is winning the golden ticket. They're like just saying Doom golden ticket winner. And I thought it was a joke. I honestly didn't think it would be possible. But we see a 3-0 in this best of 5. Dominik is forcing the bracket reset. He is 3 Clash Royale wins away from being a world finalist from 0 to hero. But he comes in last monthly finals and he's proving everyone wrong. He's beating a 2-time world champion right now, like it's just 3 ladder games. You know what I'm saying?
Someone in the chat, guys, this is scripted in promo for Doomsday. I love it. I love it.
Okay. So this is already looking solid for Dominik. If you're gonna go against a spam deck, you would very much like to have a Gobstein and a Bomb Tower.
So now Mugi going back to that incredibly spammy deck that has been very good today.
Yeah, we've seen this spam deck beat what looks to be impossible matchups, and it might be happening right now. I mean, Dark Gob's on tower.
I mean, my goodness. Yeah, already that Dark Goblin just going absolutely crazy on the left-hand side.
Man, I'm just trying to think of what went wrong there. It's just the fact that Dark Gob survives the Barb Barrel. I guess you're just not allowed to play a Barb Barrel in the Dark Gob there. You need to save it for the Skeleton Army, for the Skeleton King ability, and for that Skeleton Barrel as well. It's not over though. Comeback is very possible with the Gobstein, with the Bomb Tower, E-Sphere Barb Barrel.
Here we go. 18 seconds away from double elixir. Suspicious Bush up front, tanked for by that Skeleton King. Nice E-Spirit there, but now what do you have to clean up those Skellies? And now what do you have to clean up that barrel? And you can see Dominik knows he has nothing. And already, look at him, you see him? He goes, it's okay,
Yep.
it's okay. It's just one game. Calls the good game early. I like what he's doing here for his own mental health, if you will. Just going, it's not going to happen. The last thing I want to do is drag this out and frustrate myself even more.
Yeah.
I'm just going to reset. Here we go. Mugi gets a really important game 1 win. Dominik and Mugi. Here we go. Game number 2.
I just want to see one card from Doom. See what he's doing. He's leaking elixir, cycling a snowball, mortar from Mugi. Giant skeleton and berserker. Wow. And the monster makes the tower. Scientist hits the ability. A really solid giant skelly value. Maybe an overcommit with snowball. I'm not going to nitpick it. He's cycling to Evo. Cannon card, scary stuff. You can't let that lock on tower. So looking at the matchup, looks like we got Graveyard. Giant skelly Graveyard from Dominik. And Mugi with the mortar deck. The big question I have right now is, does Mugi have the Mother Witch variant? If Mugi has the Mother Witch variant here, that's going to be huge for dealing with these graveyards. Giant Skelly defending once again. Giant Skelly's strong in this matchup, I would say. Does a great job of actually dealing with the Gobstein and the cannon cards, which can be really annoying to deal with a lot of the time. Cannon card goes down. The elixir is very even. Dominik's playing this perfect so far. His goal is simply make it to double elixir without losing a tower. That's his goal. If he can do that, he's going to be in a really solid spot where he can start getting some graveyards down.
Yeah, when your deck is this heavy in general with graveyard, there's obviously the very fast cycle graveyards, but for the rest of them, you know, like I said before, your money's made in double and triple elixir, and Dominik happy to walk away with as little damage as he has. That's a great poison value there, just to not have to worry about this doctor.
More to the bridge. Evo Furnace is inside. I'm sure we're going to see another Giant Skelly to tank here as well. Fireball dropping down. I love the placement there. He's trying to get that closer to the Giant Skelly to maybe where the mortar could splash, and it works. Wow.
There it is. Yep. Nice call there, Juice. And mortar does not get the shot. That last shot off and right back on offense. That'll go to the Goblin Hut now.
Interesting, yeah. Poison on the mortar. That doesn't seem right, but as long as these minions aren't getting damaged, it's not a huge deal.
Yeah, not too bad there. 26.96 to 28.31. Giant Skelly out of range, obviously, of tower. And now Mugi's splitting up his Goblin Stein and Doctor. Goblin Monster and Doctor, excuse me.
The biggest task right now, the biggest hurdle for Dominik is the last card of Mugi being that Mother Witch. It's going to be the Mother Witch version with Minion Horde. So you really have to be patient and pick your battles of when you go for that graveyard. It has to be the perfect moment.
I know, and I'm trying to think in my mind of like when is that the perfect moment? Because you know Mugi's just going to hold on to it until you send it. And then once you send that poison in on the Mother Witch, that Minion Horde just gets that much more powerful.
Mortar gets taken out. It's great defense from Dominik right now, but just a couple fireballs coming through and a misclicked Furnace there. That's brutal to allow your Furnace to die in that situation.
Still only separated by about 200. Now I'm gonna have to deal with this push. This is a big push.
This is a big push.
Nice
this is tough
yeah, that's
defense.
good. Giant Skeleton? No, gets pulled back by the Skellies. 60 seconds remain. Where can Dominik find his opening? Holding the graveyard as Mugi holds the Mother Witch. That's fireball value again if Mugi wants it. That's actually great fireball value. And there it is.
And the Barb got a hit at the same time, so... And the Goblin Stein's going to connect.
Yeah.
So when it rains, it pours for Mugi. 40 seconds left. Can Dominik find an attack that's actually worth it?
I don't know, man. I mean, he has to at least send one, but in here, I mean, there's just no way. There it is. Goblin Doctor, Goblin Monster at the bridge. Graveyard comes in. There's the Mother Witch. A tough matchup. In reality, maybe setting in for the German.
Don't say it, Andrew.
I know. I know.
Man, this is brutal to watch. I mean, a 3-0 sweep against the world champ. He's in a situation where, I mean, think about all it took for him to get here. I'm sure that Mugi's going to try to lock down this final game with either RG or Hog with E-Spirit, Log, and probably Lightning.
Here we go. Make or break time for Dominik. Can he still make it to World Finals in 2026? A golden ticket now. That's the dream. Are we going to see a similar matchup?
Not sure. Hero Valk ability does get stunned a little bit, but oh my goodness, it's strong. Only issue is that just cost him 3 elixir. Mugi might be able to counterattack here.
Yeah, Mugi has a lot of elixir on the board right now. Dom will tick to 10 by the time he has to play defense.
Wow, interesting. Really nice
and
heal
Mugi
spirit.
just presses pause. Yeah, really nice heal spirit.
And that's going to allow that one E-Barb to get 1 extra hit on the Exy, which is so key, because now this Exy has no counter push value. What? Is it gonna work? I think his Zappy's back though. A Tombstone as well. So sure. Wait,
Oh,
Mother
the
Witch?
This is big.
Surely. I mean, this
in
is
terms of air defense. Dominik should have Zappies, right?
Yeah, last card should be Zappies and arrows. I don't know. What do you think? Is Zappies enough though to deal with the balloon hero?
One little spear toss there on tower.
Sure.
And this E-Barb going to get cleaned up with the help of that King Tower. Bandit dash.
I actually really like this bandit. Being able to bait out the Zappies right now to prepare for potential Evo Bataram push is really helpful.
Yeah, exactly. Great call there.
Is he just going
Here
for
we
it?
go. Evo Bataram behind. No, he's just going to go in with the Hero Valk. But the Evo Exy is there to push back, and obviously Exy a little tanky.
Fascinating. Double drop. Mother Witch gets the tank. Arrows. And honestly, Snowball seems like it's a mistake here from Mugi.
He's still got the Evo Ram in the tank, right?
Yeah, Evo Bataram should be in the tank. Mugi is 3 cards away from Evo Snow, though. He's going to lock down this lane of the Executioner. The longer this game goes on, Andrew, it's starting to feel like it's worse and worse for Doom. I don't know how he's going to deal with these Executioners properly.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of starting to get pressure in the opposite lane, and there we go. E-Barb's at the bridge. Zappy's up high. Evo Battle Ram behind. Nothing here to deal with the balloon, and that's it. That's it. Wow. 3 up, 3 down for Doom. 3 up, 3 down for Mugi, and Mugi claims the golden ticket to World Finals. Already was qualified, but that means that Viper now comes back into the conversation of World Finals. The dream run ends for Dominik, but what an incredible day for him, and what a show he gave all of us.
The champion, Mugi. Dream run, but my goodness. I mean, Mugi, he really showed that he has what it takes to be another 3-time world champ.